one of the things that I wanted to talk about is something I think you're a master at a few different things. I mean, maybe even more, but the things that I've pulled out is, number one is just your network and the way that you're able to build relationships with other artists in the industry. I'm always a fan of collaboration. I don't think independent artists do it enough. I don't think enough independent artists share each other's fan base. I think there's sometimes too much ego or hesitancy to reach out and connect. But is that something that you've made a priority? Is that something that is just natural to you, just based off your personality and how you vibe with folks? How intentional is the networking and the collaboration for you?
It's super intentional now, but I still like it natural because it comes natural for me. I can talk to people no problem. Anybody. I don't give a fuck who it is, what race, ethnicity, even a racist. I've done it. So like, yeah, this shit come easy to me. So I like to keep it easy, but I do move with a certain intent, because I know now when I go outside, that's how I live. That's how people perceive and communicate with me. So I try to use it to my advantage the most that I can, in the most non-vulture ways that I can. You know, I'm even aware of how malicious it could be. I could be being
not. And I could, I feel like I'm decent at connecting and building with people, but I know that, just again, going back to your authenticity and just kind of the genuine nature or just energy, even on this podcast, I could tell like why people just rock with you. For sure. Now, I know you've had a lot of big songs with big features. I know you got a great relationship with like Smino. You got a big song with Thundercat. How did some of these bigger collaborations like come together?
Man, it's crazy because you said it, like, you juiced me. This is I get juice from this, right? Because you said, man, you got all these big collaborations, Smino, Thundercat. Like, how did these go? Man, them is my brothers. These I will fight for. They'll fight somebody for me. Smino done already tried. So, nigga, it's tight to hear that. But that's how they came across, man. I met these niggas and just developed a relationship. Like, you meet people and you just know they cut from a similar cloth sometimes. If be kindred spirits with people. And then also, the more I become self-aware too, and learn about myself, the more that I know why I connect to other people, like mental health, shit like that, problems. A lot of artists suffer from the same problems, chemically. You know what I'm saying? We got the same issues up here. So you meet somebody who just as cool as you, but just as troubled as you. Oh, y'all feel like y'all just as talented as each other. It's just so kindred that something has to happen. I didn't ask Thundercat to get on that song. He thought of me because I had set up the brand and we was just friends, and he finally had a song that I could fit on. He makes dance, jazz a lot, very intricate. I don't understand most of that shit. I don't even understand the chords, you know? He knows that. So we talk about different things, and then one day he had a song that I just kind of fit on, and it happened to be one of his biggest songs. And we got to do the remix, me and Smith. So it's shit like that, man. Just relationships. I do think that I am a marketing genius, though. I pride myself on that. And I try to just better myself and keep myself humble, but, know my wins. I think the only nigga in music who is a better natural networking marketing than me, only just because he's done more, is probably Rich the Kid. That nigga can album with anybody. ABA, Young Boy, Lil Wayne. He take Bryson Tiller out of retirement. Drop a what a god.
Yeah. No, I think you've done an amazing job at really honing in on your brand and what you represent. So, and we already talked about it, like you network and you build good relationship with people. So I think that when people have an idea or a project for something that's in the realm of your world, like it's easy for them to be like, oh, let's hit up Guap for that.
Yep.
And I would imagine that you were fairly easy to get a hold of and get on this podcast. So I would imagine that you're fairly professional, with other people, and you make that part easy too. That's a big piece that I think a lot of artists drop the ball on, just in terms of lacking professionalism, maybe showing up late or just not doing what they're supposed to do. Is that something, am I off on that, or is that something that you're mindful of as well?
Yeah, showing up late was probably my biggest problem and what might still hinder me now. But everything else is, I don't never show up with no attitude. I don't have no work ego. I introduce myself to everybody on set, the cameraman, the sound guy, nigga holding the boom, like everybody meet me in the whole building.
Right.
All my label meetings, when we was taking it and trying to figure out where I wanted to be, if I still wanted to be independent, I leave. When it's time for me to go, after I get done doing my little dance, you feel me? I'm out the room. I'll take off my shoes and walk around the building, look for the interns, eat some snacks, find some beef jerky or something, and then talk to all the people that's on the computers. Because my first year, that all those people on the computers finna be in the office at another building next year.
So I mean, that's a great point. So I was going to actually say something else, but that makes a lot of sense too. I mean, it's always good just to have positive energy with anybody, even people that you think are lower than you, because these years go by so fast that you never know what opportunities they're going to get and what position they're going to be in. So I definitely understand what you're saying. What I was also going to say, though, is like if you get signed to a label, obviously a label has a shitload of artists that they're working. And a lot of those people that you talked about, like going around and introducing yourself and having some meals with, they're going to be working on projects. But a lot of times they're working on so many projects, they might just be half-assing stuff, trying to get it off their desk. But if they really know you, if they take an interest or a liking to you, you have to work the whole building in order to get the most out of a situation if you were to sign.